I like healthy aging or anti-aging. That was where it started. That's how I got the idea. But I transferred that I'm not against aging. I'm just want to slow down the process. So I call that healthy aging. And the more you know about how the cell functions and the process within the cell, which is super, super complicated, but you can nail it down to a couple things, what we know about. And if you understand those and you can apply them, you can slow down the aging, and live a long and hopefully a very healthy life. Well, longevity is maybe one goal, but the question is always, in what quality of life are we doing this? So a healthy aging, for example, is most important. If we look over Europe, then the average lifespan for the majority of the people is sort of the same, but the health span is an entirely different story. Men and women on average have the same health span, but then after a few years the men die and the women hang in there 10 years longer, so they just die slower than we do. But it is an interesting process, and see how can I get this health span and lifespan as close as possible to each other. We don't all need to become 120. That's fine if you like to, but it isn't necessary. But most important is, is to do it as good as possible, so you don't have physical limitations or mental limitations. You can stay and live the way you want to live it by yourself. So I think that's an important thing to live like. But many topics will go into this. How to work with the DNA if the DNA is in the cell, how to switch things on and off, how to repair, what is the PARP system, how do you repair mistakes in the DNA, which is what we do all day long. Every cell containing DNA roughly needs to be fixed like 10,000 times a day. Every single cell with DNA, so that's crazy. And we have to understand a little bit the self-healing process of the body. But for doing this, you need to provide the body with certain nutrients, and you have to understand this way of sleeping and stress and fasting and a healthy gut and a gut-brain connection and many of these. And if you take care about most of those, then in almost all cases the body knows how to heal itself. And it's kind of a magic thing. DNA is an interesting thing. We're still learning about that, okay? But that's processes called methylation and acetylation, how you can switch certain genes on and off. That's an interesting program. This is how you can take care or control certain processes, for again the inflammatory process, that's very important. But we have longevity genes, that's stuff we like obviously, because that makes sure the maintenance in the cell remains okay. We will talk about telomeres, how to repair the telomeres. Those are the endings of the DNA parts. There's a lot of things going on and we can do. So I will talk about those processes, why you need not standard cobalamin, for vitamin B12, but you need the methylcobalamin and the adenosylcobalamin, because they all have different functions. Let's hope we can find a very nice flow in the talk over the 2 days so we can address all the important things.